My name is Tom Lenhart. I am from Virginia Beach, as we were discussing earlier. I am the owner of Grindstone. It's good to be here. Well, I guess we'll get into the other stuff later. You know what I mean?
It's good to have you. So this is the only part of the show to where it's like rehearsed. Everything else is off the cuff, but I've never seen these cards. If they're sexual in nature, we'll just throw it out. But we start off with icebreaker, deep, and deeper.
Okay.
And let's start with level 1.
Level 1. All right. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What's your go-to snack right now? Oh, man. Well, I have not been good about my diet. I have an injury, so I haven't been training much. But my go-to snack right now, shoosh. Man, I've been craving ice cream. It's for, the first 30-some years of my life, I could say no to sweets. I could be, here's some cake. No, I'm good. Here's some ice cream. No, I'm good. For the last 2-3 years, I can't say no.
To ice cream?
I just can't. I want it all the time.
What's your favorite?
I mean, I really like it all. Probably something along the lines of cookie dough, something, It's all good. I even like plain vanilla. I guess says a little bit about my personality.
I'm personally a mint chip fan.
Okay. Mint chip's good.
I've gotten flamed for that, for liking mint chip.
I don't know. I think it's fine. It tastes good. It's mint, it's chip, vanilla. What's to complain about?
Sweet, gets the job done.
Yeah. What I don't really like is like fruity ice cream. Like I don't care for strawberry.
Like sorbet?
Or sorbet. Like I want ice cream.
Common ground.
Yeah. If I'm gonna eat ice cream, I want ice cream.
We should grab some.
Yeah.
Let's try to find something after the podcast.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
Moving on. Let's go to level 2, deep.
Level 2. Have you gone or would go skinny dipping? I have gone skinny dipping, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow. Well, you can't leave me hanging. Like, how fun was it?
It was fun. It was fun. How salacious can we be here? I mean,
I could always cut it.
It ended well. I'd had a good time.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It was successful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
Coach Tom, we love to hear it.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. Hopefully she enjoyed it too.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
Moving on to level 3, deeper.
Yeah. All right. Do you believe in destiny and fate? Why or why not? Oh, man. This is one of those things that I just go back and forth on. There's those moments in your life that you're like, this has to be fate. This just didn't happen on accident. It had to have been in the cards.
Yeah.
But then I'm also, a believer of, controlling your own fate and making your own decisions and being the master of, your domain and the decision maker. But who says that's not also part of fate?
Yeah.
It's something I circle on a lot. I do this with a lot of things, but this subject is very prominent in my mind, where I'll take both sides of the argument, and I just try to battle it out in my head, and usually it just ends up nowhere. Yeah, so pretty much usually I guess to answer your question, I just don't know. I sometimes I want to say yes, and sometimes I just want to say no. I don't know.
I love how you bring up being the like master of your domain though, because I constantly see the probably like on the Daily Stoic or something where they talk about like I'm the captain of my fate, I'm the master of my soul. But I mean it's kind of difficult to where it's like, well, am I really? But
there's so many factors and other people, and their will is upon you all the time, and they're trying to live their life, and their life doesn't necessarily click with yours, so you guys are at ends, and there's just a lot of things, I guess. And you want to say, well, no, at the end of the day, I'm the master. I'm like, well, that could be true for all I know, but also you're sharing this world with 8 billion other people who are trying to live their life and be the master of their domain.
Yeah.
You're going to run into conflict. You're going to run into second guessing, all sorts of things. I guess I try to keep it more simple nowadays, getting older, and just do me the best I can do me.
Yeah.
And then be kind to others.
Yeah.
Where you can be kind to others. So.
Yeah, like because I'm a pup compared to you, but I'm pushing 30 in 3 years, and
that's in 3 years I'll be 30. Yeah.
In 3 years I'll be 30. But as I grow older and become the man that I'm growing into, I realize that I know very little. Like I know nothing at all.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I don't know how deep we're gonna get into today, but like,
go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've read a lot of,
but just like a lot of psychology,
a lot of psychologists, a lot of the good ones, some of the bad ones, some of the newer hippie ones, like you're kind of master of your domain, and I could have bought the Audi or I could have bought the Volkswagen. The Volkswagen was more practical, but I wanted to be a boss, so I bought the Audi. Kind of psychology.
Yeah.
And I've read, I've written my own like accounts, trying to figure things out. Yeah. A lot of Jordan Peterson. Love Jordan Peterson.
Me too.
And really, I'm kind of I don't know that I'm any further than I was when the journey started. And maybe that's part of the journey, and maybe I'm in the middle of it, and maybe this and maybe that, but I just don't know anymore. I wish I had better answers,
I would actually disagree with you on that front, because have you ever heard of the hero's journey?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I would have to disagree that maybe that is the full circle though, because technically after the hero's journey, you do come back home, albeit you're an evolved form of the Tom Lenhart that you used to be when you were 18. I mean, this is actually like the Auxano podcast is the causes of growth in Greek, and like this is how dummy deep it can get. But I do want to footnote this.
Sure.
So, let's go back into like the origins of self. When you were a kid, what did you want to do?
I had 3 options. I was either going to be Indiana Jones, a Jedi, or 007.
Let's go.
Those were my choices.
Okay.
Those were. I knew I wanted to have some sort of wealth, have some sort of intelligence, but then also
that raw power.
It's that raw, just stick-to-itness, never give up, They seem lucky, but really it's just them being badass, what I mean? If you're just if luck happens all the time, it's not luck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
And then, so those are my options.
Okay.
Those are my options.
But now that you've mastered crafts along the way, and unfortunately you didn't become a Jedi.
No, that was disappointing.
What life advice would you give that young kid, the young Tom?
Believe. I think I need to. I think instill today. You know, I again still today struggle with it, but I wanted to believe in myself, but Greg is bigger and stronger, so he's probably better for the job. So I'll just back off, or I'm not smart enough to be name a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And I used to kind of play the humility card and be like, well, I'm just not that smart and it's okay, and I'll just stay in my place and I'll just do my best at where I am and all this other stuff. And I think a younger Tommy at that age, but would appreciate the older version of me, or someone he can see in me and be like, you can do it, do it. It's not gonna, and that's another thing, is it's not gonna be easy. A lot of times I think we get sold on kind of like, well, the hard part is once you make the decision. I'm like, that's a hard part. Yeah. It's not easy. But follow through, again, going into the world where there's 8 billion other people trying to do their thing, that's not usually an easy journey, And as much as you love something, as much as you just want to do it, be it all the time, I don't care who you are, you get tired of it. You second guess yourself. You come into a guy, or you meet a guy or girl, whoever, who's better than you. And you put in all this time, all this effort, and they're just coming along. They're like, yeah, I make this much money, and I lift this much weight, and I do this, all the things that you want to do, but better, and those things are discouraging. But that also doesn't mean that you can't fucking do it, Do it. Believe in yourself, go for it. Why not? What's the other option? You know what I mean? Sit in the corner and cry? Like, no, come on, man. I mean, and that's another thing. It's okay to cry, like, along that journey. Like, I used to tough guy it out, all this other crap. I don't blubber in public, but I've probably cried more in the last 2-3 years than I have in my entire life. Definitely. I mean, I guess not counting my, when you're a kid and you fall and you, or something, but I don't know. That was a long answer for a short question.
No. Yeah. So what I love about interactions is this is how it is.
Yeah.
This is what I dig for, actually. As a growing man and being less bitter. If you had met me 3 or 4 years ago when I was still in the military, I probably would have had a heart of stone. Just like, the same tough guy act, proud to carry my rifle, proud to carry my, et cetera, being in the military. Why are men's tears a sign of strength?
It's a sign of vulnerability. It's a sign of caring. And I think you, me, Goggins, whoever, whatever tough guy you want to think, we're still humans at the end of the day. I don't have any kids. I don't know if you have kids or family. We have families, people we care for. Jobs mean stuff to us. Goals mean stuff to us. And if there's not emotion around that, then what's the point? And not being able to show that is... It's tough. It's really tough. My folks were always cool. They were good. They were great parents. They are great parents. And I think I don't know where I picked it up. I'm really not sure, but I myself were like, you're a man. You don't cry. You don't bitch. You don't moan. You don't, you don't do all those things. So again, like you, very stoic, very, if I ever were to shed a tear, it's by myself somewhere in the corner, no one can see it.
Yeah.
Like it never happened kind of thing. And again, just later on now I've become aware that that's just not very healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's not healthy for you or I or whoever is doing the grieving. Yeah, you gotta grieve. We're humans,
Yeah.
We're advanced monkeys, but we're still, there's things that just are a requirement to be part of the human race.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. And like I said, and then it goes back to letting. I remember my coach in football in high school. We lost in the first round of the playoffs, and it was a close game. I think we really shouldn't have lost. And the guys were crying. I wasn't crying, not because I was a tough guy, but I was holding it in kind of thing. And then the coach pulled us over. We huddled up, and he's like, and there's 5 or 6 guys like really, kind of crying pretty hard. It's their senior year. We lost.
Right. Yeah.
And he was starting giving the speech, and then he started choking up, and so he started crying. He's like, "Man, it hurts me too, guys," and that always stuck with me. And I think that was the first
masculine display of vulnerability.
Yeah, because as vulnerable as my father, I guess, could be or is be, and supportive as he is, and awesome as he is, he's a great person. I've never seen him cry. I've never, to this day, never seen him cry. I don't think I've ever really seen him even come close to what I would call crying. But yeah, my football coach, started crying. I was like, oh my God. And it opened up a door a little bit. You don't want it to, or at least, I don't know, it felt weird for me at the time. I was, at first it was very heartfelt, and then I was like, man, why, coach, why are you crying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It almost betrays this identity that all young men, or men in general, kind of cling to.
It did, but like I said, that door that opened was, I didn't know it at the time, but that little door that got open was way more important than, acting like the tough guy. I'm like, well, I'm not going to cry. Like, that little window, that little feeling, that was the first, I guess you could say. So.
Yeah. Love it. Speaking of open doors, I did want to talk about what you do. So, what is Grindstone Athletics?
We are a Muay Thai kickboxing gym and a strength training gym. I like to believe that it goes beyond just a gym. I like the culture that we've created. Excuse me. I don't think other gyms are like our gym because of the culture we create. I think, and the other gyms are great. I mean, this is not, talking shit. It's just, I think what differs from our gym is we talk to our patrons, we ask about their lives, we try to become a community, a team, and at the end of the day, at least I, give a shit about these people. And the crazy thing is the more you talk to them and the more they open up, the more, it's so cheesy, but the more they're teaching you, it's wild. It's just wild. And then again, the same thing is Jordan Peterson. These people, men and women, need this much.
Yeah.
This much. Just, hey, Greg, your squat's looking awesome. That's it. Boom. Now Greg's on a journey. Now Greg's like, yo, I can squat. I can do this. And now he's squatting 500, 600, 700 pounds, and he came to me and he couldn't even do the bar.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it's humbling, it's inspiring, it's all the amazing words you want to put in there to see these people accomplish these little things. And then it's their accomplishments, but just knowing that you kind of are next to them through the journey, it's there's no better word than humbling. Very deeply, deeply humbling.
Can I ask 2 probing questions? Very intrusive.
Go for it.
What has been your greatest accomplishment as a coach? And then what has been your greatest failure as a coach?
It's really not, I love the moments next to the ring and I call something and they hit it and they win or they get a big victory, or, you know, you give them a good pre-game, pre-fight speech and they step up, or, you know, you say something and then later on they come back, they're like, hey, that thing you told me got me through that fight and got me through this. And I didn't even really know. I'm just sitting there just trying to get them ready, like get them ready, saying what I think they need to hear. Those are always great and cool and awesome moments when you see an athlete, you know, rise to the occasion like that, and just to be a part of it. And then the other half is the stuff that's really not in the gym. Like I said, you know, as a coach, I really try to make myself available to my members. And it's just like anything else. The more that they're the member or client or you know, teammate,
yeah,
the more time we spend together, the more I get to know that person, the more they ask for my help, the more, you know, that relationship grows and grows and grows. More so than, you know, maybe some other teammate who doesn't ask for it or doesn't, you know, and that's just how it is, and that's okay. That's where they want to be. That's where they are. But the long story kind of short is, it's the moments where I get the phone call and it has nothing to do about training. It's, you know, my home life is very bad and I need to talk to somebody, and my grandmother passed away and I want to talk. My life is in the shitter. I need somebody to just talk to me, give me some advice, feedback, something. And those are the moments that I really have come to appreciate, because not because I am some sort of Buddha or guy who gives great information, Jordan Peterson, you know, who has the answers for all these things. It's just, again, it's humbling that someone would let me into their lives, trust me enough, and then kind of hold my words sacred enough to listen to. That's, again, it's just very deeply humbling and very and in a way, it's a little bit of confirmation, knowing that hopefully I'm doing some good. out there.
Yeah.
Am I stretching with that? Probably. But hopefully it's just a sign that I'm doing something correct, or that I'm doing my best to not just tell these guys, all right, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, hit the bag, punch like this, I'll see you tomorrow. Because that's not really how I want to operate.
Yeah.
That's just not my, some coaches, whatever, but that's not really me,
I know that you're the coach and that you've coached many, but do you mind if I kind of explained how I view life?
Sure.
So I actually call it the Mosaic Theory. And I know that you're somebody who's well-read, well-trained, and well-traveled. I call it the Mosaic Theory because every single person that you meet becomes irreplaceable. And the fact that they paint upon your canvas. Like, yeah, I might meet another Tom Lenhart. I might meet another Coach Tom. But he'll never be the owner of Grindstone Athletics. Or he'll never be the football player that, back in the day. He'll never be somebody who was well-traveled as a teacher. You're unique in that aspect. And because of that, technically, because you paint upon my canvas, that makes you unique and very special and irreplaceable. Every single person that walks into your gym, I'm sure feels that. Even though you might not feel like you're the person that has made the most impact, I promise you that it's that time where you really don't know if you pushing them was needed. And that was the one thing that saved them that day.
Yeah.
Or that phone call that they made to you when just like, I just need to talk to you, coach. I guess I can only say that because I've had the pleasure of having that experience of somebody needing me and me absolutely needing somebody during those hard times.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like my, not like a life motto, but it's like a life experience that I had to learn the hard way. Especially when somebody dies, that they're not there anymore. But they live in you forever because they painted upon your canvas.
That I believe, 100%. 100%.
So I think you did more than just a little good, in my personal opinion.
Well, thank you. Yeah, not very good at taking compliments. That's another fault issue problem I have. But
it's interesting because neither am I. Like I know you're feeling like me, I guess, giving you these words. You're probably like, all right, where's the nearest stop sign? Let me run to it. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
I know that's an issue and psychologically issue. It's
to receive. Yeah.
But
yeah, I hear you. I get it.
Yeah.
But speaking on travel, I wanted to get you. Like, I wanted to pick your brain. Like,
sure, yeah.
Why? Why the traveling? Why teaching? I think it's just super cool. Because most people wish that they left the same place they were standing in 5 years ago. So why travel? Why become a teacher?
Again, I go back to a kid. I mean, the jokey but kind of real answer I gave you in the beginning. All those guys, men, what'd they do? They traveled.
Yeah.
The universe, the world, whatever. That is something that's called to me forever. I mean, even as a child, I want to go see elephants and oceans and forests and you name it, whatever. So the traveling thing has just always been there. Even this is kind of weird, I guess. I love globes.
Like
I have
like a circular
like
globes?
a weird, not sexual fetish, but like a weird fetish for globe. I could sit there and just like
play with a globe
and just like, oh, there's Cairo, there, and then just kind of like, oh well, Moscow and Johannesburg are 2,000 miles apart. Just I don't know, just weird. I don't know.
Cool,
but yeah. I've always wanted to see things from my own eyes, touch, smell. That I love TV and watching shows and stuff, but I just wanted to live it. Be it, do it.
Yeah.
at that moment in my life, I mean, I basically graduated in 2008, and there was nothing. I mean, that was the fallout.
Recession.
It was bad. Yeah, I was overqualified for a job at Dick's Sporting Goods. You know what I mean? Like, it was frustrating, and then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I had kind of this teaching degree-ish, or it led to a teaching, like, easy for me to get my cert.
Yeah.
Degree from, from West Virginia. And I was perusing the internet, and then this thing came up. It's like, teach abroad. I was like, all right, I can teach abroad.
Why not?
Yeah. And put in, and then went down. I actually was in Brazil. I flew to Brazil, got to do the schooling, did the schooling, started teaching, and then from Brazil went straight to Thailand, and then the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wind back up in Virginia Beach.
Yeah. You know, if I didn't have the gym, I probably wouldn't be in VB or in Virginia in general. But also, something I've learned from traveling, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
It's greener where you water.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's not, you know, traveling is, if you carry that problem with you, I don't care if you're in Sweden or Turkey or Rio, you haven't escaped anything. Yeah. Even if you kind of are available to cognitively, you know, dissociate yourself from that problem. You're like, all right, well, that problem's in Virginia Beach and whatever, and I'm in Sweden. That problem still exists, and the world to you is very small because it's up here. You know what I mean? So that problem doesn't go away, and I think a lot of people, myself included, do a bit of, if you see them, you know, just uproot and go, there's almost always something, you know, like a greater, more nefarious reason for them leaving in the first place.
Yeah.
For me, it was genuine. I had this opportunity. I have the time. I have the motivation. Why not? You know, my last jaunt to Korea was absolutely the opposite. I'm running from a problem that I didn't want to deal with, and it was terrible. Korea for me was not fun. I didn't like it. It didn't work for me. You know, blah, on and on and on. Yeah, I don't even know what your question was to begin with.
It was like, why traveling?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then travel's great, man. I love meeting new people, eating new food, doing new things. I really, believe it or not, I can be a bit of, well, I used to be more so, but a bit of a cut up, you know, like, I love Thailand for more than this reason, but it's the land of smiles, and they like jokes and stuff, so I'm always, like, teasing and joking the kids and scaring the kids and the teachers, and they're laughing and I'm laughing, and, like, it's just, I love that stuff. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that you'd love probably Thailand the most. You have a Muay Thai gym.
Yeah, I mean, Thailand really, it certainly holds a spot in my heart. And I think it was probably what I needed, to be honest. But yeah, that was, Thailand's great. I loved all my travels, minus Korea. But I mean, I found happiness here and there in Korea. I wasn't terrible, but by the end, it wasn't very good. So,
if you could become an expat, where would you want to move? Would it be Thailand?
Probably not.
Okay.
Just because the heat. I am a big guy, and even when I'm not big and I'm in fight shape and all, I prefer
colder places,
or at least
Like kind of like Hawaii.
At least, yeah.
70 year
At
round.
least, like, yeah, look, people are like, oh, I love the heat and I love this. And I'm like, you've never been in Thailand for a year, for over a year, where it only goes from hot to hotter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I could do it. And I've even seen, expats be like, man, I need a vacation and I want to go to Nepal or, somewhere cold. Like, so for me, I actually probably would end up in Europe somewhere. I'm a history nerd too at the end of the day. And I love European history. There's tons of history there. Beautiful mountains, 100 different cultures, 100 different landscapes. So I think I'd probably end up in Europe somewhere doing something. I don't know.
Okay. Would you consider Portugal? It's supposed to be the cheapest place to become an expat.
I'd love to go to Portugal. I want to go visit there if nothing else. Like,
oh, you haven't been? Okay. Well, this is a question that I ask every single guest, kind of going back into like the deeper side of things. It is, how are you honoring your current path? Or how do you honor your current path?
You got me. I think I probably am not doing the best job at the moment of honoring my position in life in the gym. I think perhaps I'm in the middle of that hero's journey,
Again.
like you said, where things are not pretty or perfect or
as you planned, perhaps.
As I planned. I am getting up every day, whether it's, cries or smiles, and then going forth with my day. I guess that's probably the best way to say that I'm honoring my how'd you say it? Honor
your current path.
Current path is just to continue walking it. I'm just at the moment. I'm just doing my best to walk it. You know, and then try to find some. And then I don't want to sound glary. I'm having fun and I'm finding things to do. But I certainly could be doing better. I'm It's tough. When are you supposed to give yourself the break? When are you supposed to tell yourself to go forward, push harder, right? When are you supposed to cut yourself some slack? When are you, I'm not good at cutting myself slack. That's just, and I'm guessing you're probably not either because of what you said earlier.
No, I am not.
Right. So I think you get me when I say I'm just, I give myself little moments of happiness or something. Again, the kid comes in from the gym or from school to the gym. He's like, "Hey, I got 100 on my test, like you told me to study for." Awesome, that's a win. I don't disregard that, but in the overall, it seems like I'm lacking, whatever word you might want to use to fit there. I could be, let's say I could definitely be honoring my path better, even though I probably don't know where it's leading me at the moment. But yeah, I'm just walking it.
Walking regardless.
Yeah.
I think oftentimes as men, it's the most difficult thing. Because, I'm sure you feel the same way too, but sometimes I sit down and I see all these other people and I'm like, who am I? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing that I'm not doing? Why am I not enough?
Or how do they know what they're doing? How do they figure it out?
Yeah.
But then you come, they don't fucking know. They don't know either.
They don't know what they're doing either.
Yeah. And if they say they do, they know less than you probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Once you say you know what you're doing, you have narrowed yourself into one thing, and you probably know nothing.
Yeah.
At all.
Is that, you think, is that perhaps a problem that, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here pompous and say like I'm a man of a higher caliber, but like, you think that might be a problem common in people who pursue entrepreneurship or fitness even?
I think yes to both of your questions, or to answer straight up yes. But to go further, I think a lot of people fake it till they make it.
Yeah.
And then when they make it, all they know is fake it. And they're still faking. They are.
Yeah.
I mean, steroids. Everybody, I'm so sick of do you think this guy's on steroids? Yes. I know he's on steroids.
Yeah.
Like, and we don't have to talk about it, and you don't have to whatever, but don't be that guy who takes out some page in the paper. It's like, I'm not on steroids. I use creatine and duck eggs. I'm like, no, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I see it. I know, like.
All right there, Liver King.
Yeah, like, good Lord. People are like, you think he's natural? No, he's not natural. You know, and I'm not even saying that's a fake, right? Everyone's on it. Everyone, to do some of the stuff that these guys are doing, need it. Straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, every world's strongest man is dosing whatever, some more than others, but
right.
I mean, to do the things they do, they need it. And honestly, I used to have a bigger, problem. I really don't anymore. What I don't like is people lying about it all the time, to the point where it puts you in this corner and you're like kind of like a little caged animal, and it's like, when really you could just be like, dude, yeah, I supplement. He does it. Hey, you name a guy. Yeah, he does it too. You know what I mean?
Has to.
That, and that was just, something that's common kind of in my fitness, journey.
Yeah.
Whatever. I hear a lot of that, and but it goes into martial arts too, where these guys talk a big game and they get on Facebook and Instagram and they're 3-0 or 10-0. I'm like, well, who have you fought? You've only fought in the novice division. You haven't even fought in the open division yet. You talk about pro this, pro that, and everything else, and those guys usually pretty much get cracked in the head once in their first of 3 pro fights, and you never hear from them again. You know what I mean? You are faking it. You're telling yourself something, and when you really need to be more honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm a product of that, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Especially when I was younger. But, as you get older, the proof's in the pudding, man. You can't just stay on the outside and talk a big game and fake this game forever.
People can see the chinks in the armor.
Absolutely. It's what you've done that impresses me way more than what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Henry Ford, he said, you can't build an empire on what you're going to do tomorrow. You know what I mean? You got to put in the work today and make it go. And, I don't know. I just, that fake it till you make it just bothers me,
I think to kind of bring it full close to a circle, William Shakespeare said it. It's kind of crazy how it's like tale as old as time, where he talks about the world's a stage and everybody's a player. Yeah. You just have to find out who the actual actors are in the sphere that you're wanting to be in and how best you guys can click.
Yeah, and I'm just in my journey, I guess, in my 2 cents, the way I've felt for most of my life is I don't want to be an actor.
Yeah.
I
want to be myself.
I want to be genuine. Yeah. I want to be the bad motherfucker on the corner that everyone knows not to fuck with, but also can bring their kid up and say, hey, it's my kid. And I can hold the kid. Try not to scare it too much, you know. Hey, you doing, kid? You know, like, I'd like to be a man of just more than one thing and just try to be me. Try to find some semblance of who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
You know, I hate, even though I do it. Trust me, I'm not, to your audience, you know, this is not a holier than thou. I do it too, you know. I don't want to do it. I find myself doing it like a coward here and there, and I don't like it. And a lot of times I try to go back and fix it, but sometimes I can't. But I just want to be comfortable with me to the best of my ability.
Yeah. And
the only way to do that is just to be genuine. Try to be genuine all the time. With you, with me, with myself, with, you know, the billionaire on the corner and the homeless man on the other corner. Yeah, just be me.
Yeah.
It's harder than it sounds.
Yeah. It's everything that I've desired to as well. It's actually my father's greatest lesson to me. Is I had lost when I was still fighting, and I was a high school kid, but I had lost 3 matches in a row, despite winning I think 10. But I lost 3 matches in a row, and I remember just thinking what a piece of shit, what a failure. And he put his hands on my shoulders and was saying, just be yourself.
Yeah.
But because you can be yourself, learn to also adapt to any situation that's thrown at you.
Right.
Be yourself.
Right.
And that advice has propelled me very far in life. So,
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's the shit I love hearing.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not like, oh, well, you're 10-3.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great record. But it's the dad, the coach, the someone who's just like, you know, you were getting sunned in the moment, like, son, you know, this is, you know. But then they hit you with this whatever advice it is, and you're just like,
yes, sir. I will follow through. I will execute, sir.
And it just opens up your world and makes you that much more of a badass, you know.
It's about to sneeze.
Bless you.
It's gone. Thank you. But deep pleasure having you on, Coach Tom. Yeah. We are unfortunately hitting closing time. Do you have any closing comments or questions for me?
Well, I think I missed some of your questions. I got too deep into the other ones, so sorry if I didn't answer all your questions.
No, deep is what we love here at Auxano Podcast at the Sale Media Company. Deep, stupid deep, dummy deep.
Bro, I mean, yeah, if you want a topic, if you want me to come back, give me a topic or something, we'll go.
Yeah, yeah. I'm because I do love. I mean, obviously, I was in martial arts for years. I mean, I still am. Granted, the hardest thing for me to realize was I'm probably never going to be a UFC champion, etc. And if I ever wanted to compete again, that'd be great. But it was realizing that I have to be mediocre in something for another thing to flourish.
Yeah.
And I chose the companies. I chose the real estate investing, the media company.
I was going to say, you know, do you want to be a UFC champion?
Not anymore.
See, that's
not anymore.
And that's the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I still love training.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
No, I tell that to all my guys or anyone who's like, look, man, you can come here and we have the outlet to take you, you know, to the big time. Or if you just want to train, just train, man.
And be with community.
Yeah, just train your ass off. It's good to know the skill. It's good to be around people.
Yeah. Get
in shape, have fun, you know.
Yeah. And that was the hard realization. So, but
yeah, sorry to answer your question. I'd love to come back and get deep. I probably could use it. Probably be a bit of a soul cleanse. But But yeah, whenever's clever, man.
Of course. But Coach Tom, I'm sorry. Did you have any other closing comments?
That's it.
Closing out?
No big.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for hopping on the Auxano podcast. Guys, remember that the grass is not greener on the other side. It is greener where you water, but do take care not to shrink yourself for spaces that you've outgrown. As always, my friends, be well and walk tall. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you next time.